So the live action One Piece is finally out, and I've finally gotten the chance to sit down and I've watched the first two episodes. And honestly, I'm liking it so far. I'm very happy and I'm very surprised to say that so far they are doing a pretty good job at everything. I really don't have any nitpicks to really speak of. Not saying that it's like the greatest thing ever or whatever, but overall they're doing a really good job of it. So again, this will cover the first two episodes. I'll probably try and do these in like two episode, like each video will probably be like two episodes or something like that. I don't know. It'll probably be however I decide to split it up. But regardless, everybody looks great. Everybody's performances are really good. You know, everybody is acting as they're supposed to act. Nami feels like Nami. Luffy feels like Luffy. Zoro feels like Zoro. Yeah, all the characters so far are feeling like themselves. The only one that I could maybe nitpick on is Garp. And Garp being in the show this early is kind of weird, but at the same time it really doesn't affect too much because we know that he was in East Blue during this time anyway because of him picking up Kobe and Hell Nepo in the manga or in the anime as well. Like, we see him picking them up and adding them to his crew, and you know, so that's not really too big of a deal. The changes overall that they've made, I have really no complaints or anything about, because if it was just the same story, like literally beat for beat, scene for scene, like what would be the point, right? Like at that point, just go read the manga, or go watch the anime. So I like the fact that they're doing their own kind of thing with it, with like certain liberties. Obviously they're not like changing the story dramatically or anything. We're still hitting like all the major plot beats that we need to, but they're still taking the source material and they're changing what they can to make it feel different, to make it feel like their own thing. So I'm a fan of it so far. We get to see Zoro's conversation and offer to join Burl Quirks from Mr. 7 that he talks about, and we get to see that fight and we get to see him cut him down, which is really cool. We also get some like rearranging of what happens at Shelltown and also at I think it's Orange Town, the place that Buggy has control of. I can't remember. That's been so long, and yeah. But yeah, so like we're still hitting the same plot beats. It's just rearranged differently. Like we meet Axe-Hand Morgan like way earlier, and Nami and Zoro and Luffy all meet like earlier than they're supposed to. I guess not supposed to, but rather what they do in the anime and manga. We get to see like a whole bar fight at Shelltown where we get to see Zoro just destroy all these Marines so easily. And then that leads to him being tied up. And then we have Nami sneaking in to the base, and she's the one that kind of helps Luffy gets the map to the Grand Line, and then all three of them kind of converge and start to form a crew. Well, they keep saying that they're not, but obviously we know what happens. Or maybe you don't. Maybe this is your first introduction to One Piece, in which case, if you are liking what you're seeing in the live action, I can only recommend the anime and the manga because it's just as good, even better. You know, I am a manga person myself. I have not watched the anime, I've read the manga, and I'm up to date on everything, but this feels like One Piece. There are some things here and there that are kind of like feel kind of awkward and silly, but like again, not everything is going to be beat for beat, scene for scene. What else can I say as far as nitpicks go? Just because, and the only reason why I say that is because again, everything here has been really good so far, and I don't really have anything to complain about. I think Garp really is just my main issue, quote unquote, so far, because him being at Roger's execution feels weird, or at least him being like the head of it, the one in charge, kind of is kind of weird, especially like if you know the relationship that they have from reading or watching the anime and manga. If you know, you know, but feels kind of weird that he's the one there, but again, whatever, it's fine. Roger, I love, like, he gets like a minute of screen time and immediately I'm like, yep, that's Roger. Like, that's just straight up Roger. Everybody does a really good job in their performances. It's actually cool because we get a couple of like Easter eggs and stuff too. The wanted posters in Shelltown, we see Bellamy is there. We see Django is on a wanted poster. Kuro has his wanted poster in the safe that Nami unlocks with the map to the Grand Line. There's also, while they're not like really pointed out as who they are in Orangetown, we see the dog and the mayor who played bigger roles in the anime and manga rather than in this. That's kind of the thing about this live action so far, right? Is that they're kind of speed running through everything in a way, and I don't mean that to sound in a bad way, right? Again, everything has been really good so far, but it does kind of feel like they're just hitting the bare minimum in the best way to be able to get through everything as quickly as possible, because these are 8 episodes. Granted, they're an hour long, and that first episode packs a lot into its runtime. Like, it was still going while I was watching it, and I'm like, wow, we haven't cut yet? Like, this isn't where it ends. Like, it ends, we go from beginning of Luffy meeting Kobe on Alvida's ship. Well, first we have Roger's execution, then we go all the way up to them escaping Morgan in Shelltown and Kobe joining the Marines. That's a lot to cover in one episode in its runtime. So the fact that they were able to put that much in there, along with some extra stuff too, because like I said, we get Nami's introduction, we get Zoro's introduction, we get flashbacks here and there with Luffy with his backstory with Shanks and what happened there. Like, there's a lot that they packed into their runtime, and the fact that it doesn't feel rushed. It feels like everything has enough space to breathe. Everything is still flowing pretty well. Like, that's impressive. So kudos to them. They've done a really good job. In the beginning, when Luffy's backstory was kind of getting cut up and shown to us periodically, I was like, well, why didn't we just get this right after Roger's execution? But I actually don't mind them doing it the way that they did now that like the backstory with Shanks is completed in the second episode, because it all kind of like leads into what's happening in the current plot, or in what's happening currently, if that makes sense. Like, we see how important Shanks is to Luffy and with the Straw Hat and everything while he's fighting Buggy, which I'll get to Buggy in a minute. We'll get there. Give me a minute for Buggy. But yeah, his backstory getting cut up among these 2 episodes kind of caught me off guard and kind of annoyed me for a minute, but as it kept going, I warmed up to it, and it still flows pretty well. I still think it kind of would have been better if they just did it all at the beginning, but like I said, the way that it is now, it's fine. Devil fruit powers. So far, we've only seen Luffy and we've only seen Buggy, but both of their effects for their devil fruits look really, really good. Again, there's kind of a bit of a goofiness to it, but that's just One Piece. But it does, like, the CGI doesn't look awkward, or however they did it. I'm assuming it's CGI, but everything looks good. Everything doesn't feel like out of whack, or it's not like super weird looking or whatever. Like, it looks good, especially Buggy's fruit, like him being able to like split himself apart. They were able to do that like really well without it like seeming like super crazy and out there or whatever. Like, the effects look good. Now, Buggy is the best part so far. Again, I'm only 2 episodes in, so that's not saying a whole lot, but Buggy, like, I was constantly laughing throughout his episode. He looks amazing, he sounds amazing, he acts like Buggy. Whoever they got for Buggy, bravo. He is the best performance in the show so far. Buggy is like the biggest highlight in this so far, and I love it because I am a big Buggy fan. So to see him portrayed pretty accurately, over the top, being silly, being crazy, this maniacal fucking killer clown dude, like, kudos. Like, whoever is the actor for Buggy, round of applause to you, man, because it's a hell of a performance. So Buggy's a big highlight. I love Buggy. But yeah, that's pretty much everything. I'm trying to think if there's any last minute things. Again, really my biggest complaint is how Garp is just kind of thrown into this, and it feels kind of weird. Like, because for people, I'm not going to spoil anything in case people are watching this that have not watched One Piece. But if you know the connection that Garp has with a certain character, then you know, like it feels weird for him to like be going after Luffy in the way that he is. It feels weird for him to be acting the way he does. I don't know. Garp gives a good performance, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that he's a bad actor or anything like that, but he just feels out of place, if that makes sense. It kind of feels like he was just kind of brought into this, and he doesn't have like a real purpose, if that makes sense. I don't know. He's just kind of off to me. But even saying that he gives a really good performance, I'm not hating anything. I'm not hating his inclusion into the plot. It just feels a little weird. Other than that, so far, live action One Piece has been phenomenal. I'm excited to see the next couple of episodes. I'm excited to see getting to the end of this show, because with what I've seen already, I hope that it carries this momentum and we eventually get a season 2 covering, the later stuff. I don't know how lucky and how long, like, they plan on going with this. Like, if they were to try and take on the whole show and do everything, that's a big task. But if that is the direction that we're going in, I'm not opposed to it, seeing what I'm seeing here, because everybody sounds and looks and acts amazingly. Everybody feels like they're supposed to. The world feels like One Piece. Everybody's giving it their all. You can clearly tell that the people who have worked on this care about One Piece and they want to do One Piece justice. And I know some of that, if not a lot of it, is also Oda's involvement with this show. But even saying that, like, all the cast members, everything so far, just these people care about One Piece and they want to do it justice. And if they can continue doing that in the way that they have been so far, I'm all for it. Give us a season 2. Take us all the way to Wano. Let's go. I'm here for it. So, if you have not checked out the live action One Piece, I highly recommend so far. Again, these are only the first 2 episodes that I've watched, so I'm hoping that we don't go downhill from here. I've heard nothing but good things about it from my friends that have watched it so far. They say that it's pretty good, and from what I've seen, I am also a fan and I'm here. So, go check it out if you have not already. If you're a One Piece fan and you have checked out the live action, let me know your thoughts below. Tell me what you guys think. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Do you think it feels like One Piece? I want to know what people are thinking about this, because to me, this might break the stigmatism of bad live actions. This might actually be like our first real chance at a good live action, and for it to be One Piece and for it to be this good so far, this might be this ironically might be a new era coming for live action animes and potential like cartoon shows and stuff like that. But yeah, those are my thoughts, those are my opinions. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. And yeah, that's all from me. So be kind to yourselves, be kind to others, and I will talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.